Hey Flat Earthers, Paul on the plane here. Hope you're keeping it flat as always. It's been a while since I posted a video. I took a little break and have been busy with some other projects, but now that we're about 40 or so days out from the Flat Earth International Conference in Raleigh, North Carolina, I'm getting super energized to meet many of you and enjoy 2 days of nothing but Flat Earth. I hope you're going to be able to make it. Shoot me an email at paulintheplane@gmail.com and let's coordinate a time to meet up if you're going to be there. So today's video is a little experiment I conducted last month while traveling on business. I was back in Lake Tahoe. Many of you may remember the 18-mile convex water experiment on Lake Tahoe. I think it was last March, from which I drew the conclusion that either the Earth is much larger than we've been told, or it's generally flat. No, I didn't find any water curving over the 18 miles, even though the pictures of Tahoe we get from quote-unquote space that we are given show major curvature. So there's two casinos on the South Shore that stand about 200 feet high, and I was able to see them from 18 miles away with my Nikon P900. So yeah, do the math. I shouldn't have been able to see them. But I digress. Okay, so this experiment is another bubble level app experiment. And yep, I'm the guy who flew from Seattle to Ireland last June to test the alleged curvature with the bubble level app and found that there was no curvature. We flew over a flat, fixed Earth many thousands of miles. I also did a video driving about 200 miles to measure curvature with the app and of course failed to find any. It's funny how everyone who goes out attempting to measure curvature is unable to. Huh. Crazy, eh? Okay, but back to the bubble level app on our smartphones. It's funny how many people still think that the bubble level app, which unlike a traditional bubble level can be locked at any orientation, at any angle or degree, and that they think it would not show a change in the bubble, especially over so many miles. They simply don't get how the technology works, I guess. We should be able to lock the orientation of the phone in free space with the bubble level app and slowly see the bubble move off center over a period of even 30 to 60 minutes as the alleged spin of the Earth happens. You globe defenders do get that, right? I mean, the phone is locked into a certain orientation in free space, so any movement of the phone will register a change in the bubble. Any movement of the phone's angle will register a change in the bubble. Think about that some more. Okay, so many people have even proven that the phones are sensitive enough to measure the Earth's spin, but it's funny how the spin never is registered. Okay, I digress. Again. So I got a lot of feedback on my Seattle to Ireland video that since I was flying west to east and the Earth allegedly rotates east to west, that I simply flew quote-unquote into the spin and stayed relatively on the same latitude, even though I flew a lot farther north, that the bubble level app didn't register a change because I was relatively in the same position as when I left Seattle some 15 hours earlier. Kind of a stretch, but it seemed to be a common theme that I was getting. Even the awesome Jaron from jeranism on GLOBEBUSTERS, on a GLOBEBUSTERS episode a week or so later, commented that he'd like to see the same experiment done on a trip north to south or south to north, so that argument could not be used. Well, that's the experiment that I conducted here. I was flying from Reno, Nevada to Seattle, Washington, which is clearly a south to north route, as you can see here on the map. So there's no chance that I flew into the alleged spin or could be in the same relative position after the 2.5-hour flight between the two airports. Okay, so here was my results. I took a screenshot of the bubble level app sitting on the plane in Reno, and you can see the time date stamp here, and the other screenshots I took showing the altitude and the latitude and longitude from the two apps to confirm my position on this flat, fixed plane that we live. So these coordinates will show you that I was here when I took the first measurements. And then a few hours later, when I landed in Seattle, I did the same thing. I took a screenshot of the bubble level app, and as you can see, no change. It should have been off by at least a few degrees. I mean, considering I flew approximately 563 miles, and Seattle should be about, 211,000 feet or so below the horizon, or about 40 miles, when I'm sitting in Reno. Yeah, I should see a few degrees there, guys. And here were my coordinates sitting on the runway in Seattle after landing, where I took the second and final measurement. So, there you have it. My first two experiments were west to east and east to west, so here is an experiment traveling the alleged globe south to north. But, unfortunately for you globe defenders, that darned elusive curvature was not found again. When is someone going to be able to measure that darn thing, huh? Hope you've enjoyed this short video. Again, looking forward to meeting many of you in Raleigh in November. Shoot me a note if you're going to be there. Until then, as always, keep it flat. This has been Paul on the Plane. Peace.